Don't you think that's because the baseline standards have a huge factor of safety in them, given everybody's trying to offset risk, the mechanical guy, the structural guy, the facade guy, and you don't have that collaboration? So Spencer, how many projects have we worked on where we're like, just give us the design pressures, and they're like, here's the structural drawings, and we're like, no, the cladding pressures.
Yeah.
And so unless all three are working together, think about how much, extra fluff is set in those construction documents.
Well, and how much is being like repeated? It's so funny to me that like I understand the mentality, building superstructure engineers, like we have to set up the general parameters for the project, get it going. Okay. But like tolerance control for like the concrete guy versus the glazing guy, like I think there's kind of a misunderstanding about like how glazing systems can accommodate some of these variables, and like the range that's like standard, or the cladding design pressure. I mean, it gets me every time because someone has to do that to do the rest of the cladding on the building. Actually, to do the superstructure itself, like you need to evaluate the loads on the building. So someone's doing it, but then it always comes to glazing contractor has to redo it. And I'm like, why? like you're already doing it. Like just share the info and then we'll all be aligned, Not to say if you give me the inputs, like I'm going to come up with something wildly different, but still like there's always a little bit of risk that like some assumptions might be incorrect, or maybe it's a complicated building geometry and it's misinterpreted or something,
The silver lining is I can't take it personally because I thought this was something, of South Florida, and you guys are explaining exactly the same issues we find. And, a building that is in concept design, they know how many stories, they know the floor plan, and we're having as a facade consultant to run our own window saying, here's the disclaimer, you need these from structural, but I can't check glazing systems without these pressures. You can't go pricing. You can't design the building. Size panels, you can't really do anything without these pressures. And these are world-renowned 40, 50-year-old structural firms that aren't issuing this information with their first concept design. They have to wait for somebody to beg them for it.